So we ended video 2 by saying, hey, what could go wrong? What happens? Well, what happens is you start questioning yourself, right? And as Wallace D. Wattles says in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, when you doubt yourself, when you have fears, worries, anxiety, that neutralizes everything. And you all of a sudden aren't getting what you desire because you're sabotaging yourself, because you don't believe that you are really worthy of success and worthy of getting rich. And that's where the Get Rich Success Formula is going to help you. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. I want you to get a piece of paper, even if you have to pause the video. And then on the left-hand side of the paper, I want you to write down the letters G-E-T-R-I-C-H. And as I go through the formula, I want you to write it down and take notes, because if you follow this for 10 minutes every morning, it will have such a positive impact in your life. All right, so let's get started. G-E-T is good enough tapping. Right? If you do not feel worthy of success, if you don't believe that you can get rich, it's because you don't feel good enough. You just don't feel good enough. You don't feel like you know enough. You don't feel like, you just don't feel enough, right? So I want you to think about the statement, I'm just not good enough. How true does that feel to you on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm just not good enough. Yeah, if that feels really, really true, then yeah, if you're close to 10, then E.F.T. tapping is going to help you to release that from a deep cellular level so that you can replace it with the feelings of, I am good enough, right? Because when you feel good enough, when you're vibrating good enough, that's the abundant feeling, right? When you're feeling not good enough, you are focused on what is lacking in you. And when you vibrate lack, you attract lack, right? By the law of attraction, like attracts like. So we want to change that around. Now, I've included an image below this video if you're not familiar with EFT tapping. And I'm just going to give you quickly what you can do. And again, you don't want to spend a lot of time in it in the morning, but you just want to get that sense of, you know what, you're moving towards feeling good enough. Now, in the program that I'm going to talk to you about soon, I've included a full good enough tapping and everything that you need. But for right now, I'm going to give you just some ideas. So you want to start on the karate chop point. And this is the setup phase, right? Setup phrase is, even though I don't feel good enough, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I just don't feel like I'm enough, I choose to honor that feeling. Even though I don't feel good enough, I just don't feel like what I do is enough, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. I just don't feel good enough. I don't feel like anything I've done is ever good enough. I just don't feel good enough. I don't feel good enough. I just don't feel that I'm good enough to be rich. I don't feel like who I am is good enough. I don't feel like what I've ever done is good enough. I don't feel like where I come from is good enough. Now, you might feel like, oh my goodness, Louise, why am I saying all of this negative stuff? I don't want to believe negative stuff. No. What you want to do is you're tapping through the meridian point so that you are releasing those feelings from your body. Again, in the paid program, the How to Make Money in Good Times or Bad, that program, I actually give you some other techniques as well that you can use. But you start with the negative because you actually want to release that, right? So that then you can do a positive. Hey, even though I'm still not feeling really good enough, I choose to look for things that I've done that are good enough. Even though I might still feel like I'm not good enough, I choose to focus on what I've done that's good enough. Hey, even though I still might not feel good enough, I'm choosing to be open to doing things good enough. Yeah, I might still feel not good enough, but I'm choosing to see that I have done some things that are good enough. I have done a lot of things that are good enough. You know what? I am good enough. I am worthy, and I am valuable, and I have done things that are good enough, and I'm open to learning new ways to be good enough so that I can get rich. Okay, so the negative takes out, the positive tapping round adds in. And when you do that good enough tapping, again, it doesn't have to take a long time, but do it every morning. You will be releasing that lack energy and then putting in abundant energy.